preparing a couple of slides, but I think I didn't get time to update them in detail. But yeah, just quick recap of what is reinvent session. So this is a usual session that happens every year. And AWS spend usually 1 week of time or 5 days. And the place or venue might change, but mostly it is in US always, but most probably, but the venue will change in different places within US, but based on the number of audiences they register for this event. So, but this time because of this pandemic, it's a virtual session. And this they in the general in this product in this event they will talk more about their products and what is upcoming and what is the incremental changes happening and what are the new use cases and because many people gather for this event from different verticals and different industries, it is more a handshaking and knowing about other verticals, what are the updates. And apart from this, we can also learn um, many things about which industry is reinventing or how they're reinventing. So in various industries. So because they talk about various customers and also there is specific sessions for customers. They will come and talk on stage. So that way you'll touch upon most of at least 50% of various verticals. So that way you know what is happening in other verticals and how they're performing. And especially in COVID situation, what which industries are doing well. So you'll get a glimpse because they all the entire it is most of the Fortune 500 companies are already on AWS. So they have a lot of information in terms of how which business is growing and how they are reinventing their business and yeah, all the industry trends they all capture. So it is a good event to know not just about the products, but as what is happening as a general in the industry, not just IT, but in general in other industries together. So yeah, that way it is a good learning session. So and this time, first time it is a 3 week event from November 30th to December 18th. So and generally Andy Jassy, who is the CEO of AWS, so he generally kicks off this event, and there's something called keynote. I mean that is the most watched reinvent session out of all the sessions. The keynote is where everyone will be eagerly waiting. Where this in the keynote is where they really launch their products. They declare about the new products that are upcoming. So at this time, I saw only the week one. The week one is just about products in general, and in that category of week one, it's 27 new products were launched in week one. So and just to this guy is not Andy Jassy, but he's a different guy. But summaries, these are the various 27 products that they launched in this in this first week of reinvent. So the second week, I'm just going through the second week. It is more on machine learning completely, especially the SageMaker, which is the machine learning portfolio. But here there are a couple of SageMaker machine learning features are also there, but it is this week's session is I mean the week two session is completely on SageMaker and what are the new products that are coming. So yeah, Swami is an Indian guy. So he is the vice president of of the machine learning division of AWS. So in the week two keynote is from Swami. So which is Swami. I'm just now completed the week two keynote. So where he was talking about completely on SageMaker portfolio of products. I mean, SageMaker is an umbrella. So it is like under SageMaker there are so many sub products under SageMaker, which is so that is all about AWS SageMaker and the new features that are coming in, and also the new sub products under that, and how, and also they're now going industry specific. So that is one trend which I see. Um, uh, Apart, so far it's all. I mean, this is something very. I saw this in the last year reinvent also, but in this year they've gone beyond. So where now they're focusing more industry specific. So some of the products, we will go through them, but some of the products, if you see, they're all very specific to industries like industrial IoT, for example, or life sciences, which are specific to this COVID situation, being this pharma and life sciences, and some of them are very specific to the auto industry. So they are going very specific to industry, and some of them are customer call center based solutions. So now, so of late, the products are. I think looks like what I understand is the general overview is that products. Um 1 minute today, recording. Yeah. So general observation is that all products that they launched uh, so far is all the base is set. Uh, so now with the base being set, starting from containers to from storage, networking, compute, so and now machine learning is also set. So the trend what I see these days is that now they're going to industry-specific solutions, and they're tackling specific common issues that generally any industry is facing now. That they're taking that problem and trying to address, come up with a solution with at least a few products together put together. So so that is the trend which I am seeing these days. And yeah, just we'll go through each of them individually, but at a high level, this is what it is. So I'm now going specific to. We will come back to the slide again, but for that, I saw this they put this at least this itworldcanada.com. I saw this. I read many articles, but I think this one is content wise it is good. So yeah, so I think let's start with some of the products, which is DevOps Group. So this is something a new product that is launched, Amazon DevOps Group. So this is uh, more machine learning integrated DevOps. So that is one liner if I tell. So this is a machine learning integrated DevOps. So far it's all DevOps is all reactive, right? When you see some issue, some build pipeline, code pipeline failed, then you go and take a look at what is the issue. Now think that from the past experiences, it can the DevOps can solve the problems that it have that it the problems occurs during this pipeline run automatically. So that is what is DevOps Guru is. So it is as machine learning integrated into the DevOps. So that is what is DevOps Guru. So here, what it does is it is machine learning powered operation service, so that it will make easier for developers to improve application availability. So that is it will automatically detect the operational issues, and also to provide recommendations for you and specific actions also for the remediation. So this is the key, right? I mean, till this mostly, so in some of the DevOps tools is already there, like identifying the operational issues, but so this part is like taking action on behalf of you. So that is the machine learning component. So providing tailored recommendations for the specific problem, and also will also give specific actions for remediation. So this is the machine learning component that is added to this DevOps now. So yeah, so this yeah they now integrated this DevOps Guru to all the various products within AWS. So and it can also send like typical use cases of in any cloud, where if you find an issue, then you should inform the respective people. So they have integration with notification services. So they can also raise a ticket automatically and also send details to the pager duty. Telling that there is some issue happened, and also it will give the recommendations. So basically, it can automatically raise an alarm, and it can also send a notification to all the required parties. So that is always there, but yeah, that is now integrated to this DevOps Guru also. So it is not just identification, but it can alert the individuals. So on various platforms. So yeah, so that is about this DevOps Guru. So I've not seen. I mean, this is at a high level. I don't know more details about it yet, but I need to go through the product in detail. But this is first look at this point. So probably I should go deeper into this to understand how this works. But yeah, summary is that there is no upfront cost here for this product. Um, so only you pay for the data. So as such for the product, you don't need to pay anything. You need to only pay for the data that this DevOps Guru either looks at or generates the data. So based on further only you're paying, not for the product as such. So yeah, so this is about the DevOps Guru. Uh, yeah, I think this is a feature that I think Raj was also talking in our last session. The Mac instances.
So Sham,
Yeah.
on the DevOps Guru, probably I think you could use it with other products also. So for example, code pipeline, code build, they have already a set of products for DevOps.
Yeah.
Right. So this is going to sit on top of it for sure. But I don't know whether this could also be used to do on top of Jenkins or something like that or something. We have to see, because many companies are using Jenkins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to see the extension part of it.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. I think see, if you look at this is how it works actually. So just going through that. So it says mostly the coverage aspect you will get it from the cloud. Basically from CloudFormation, you should select the CloudFormation need stacks or AWS accounts. And then you will select the data sources. So from which you want to read additional data. So it can also ingest data, operational data I'm talking about, not the code pipeline data, but you can, it is a machine learning service, right? So it requires a lot of data. So you need to, apart from your just pipeline, you also need the integrations to other monitoring tools, infrastructure monitoring tools like CloudWatch, AWS config. Config is a config management service of AWS. Like, what are the various products are there in your account? So it's all config management. So in CloudTrail, so it's all general pure trail of when, what, who made a change. So that is what is this product, and X-ray is scanning of for any issues or any vulnerabilities. So it has it is so these are the additional data sources apart from your just code pipeline. So it will get data from other popular monitoring tools, and so they all will be fed to the DevOps Guru, which our DevOps Guru will continuously analyze the streams and also like disparate data and monitors the relevant metrics to establish the normal application behavior patterns, and also it also look at it also leverages the machine learning aspects informed by years of Amazon.com and AWS operational expertise. So they apply all the machine learning's rules on top of this data, and finally what you get is, I mean, you can also do a data enrichment with the base data that it derives. So you can apply data enrichment also with metric analysis, related events and recommendations. So it basically uses ML to correlate the anomalies in metrics and with operational events to produce reactive and proactive insights. So this is the final output that you get. Of course, with that you can also integrate that data. Now you have the data or the machine learning output that you have. In terms of analysis or events or recommendations, you get this data. So now you can use this data to send or make informed decisions or alert someone. So you can do all those things with this integration component where you can integrate with your Ops Center product or SNS is notification services or any third-party services also incident management like ticketing system or any other system can have an integration. But yeah, this is the core of what DevOps Guru is for. But others are all like integration channels. Yeah. So yeah, this is how it works at a high level, but I've not gone through that in detail. But what they say
Yeah.
is,
So
yeah,
one challenge is if you are in production, it makes sense. So probably we might want to enable this only on the production side of it, because during development and testing, you might have to have the glitches in the pipeline so many times just to make it work. So yeah, so this has to be enabled only up.
but your test data will help you to enrich. I mean, it needs a lot of data. So I mean, the more you train with just to once it gives the recommendations, you also need to validate whether this recommendations is fine or not. So you need to give feedback, right? So that feedback will make this product stronger. So that ML feedback, yeah, probably it's a good idea to use that in your dev and QA instances so that you have a proper model and you can use that model for production. Like your dev and test are the more realistic data or feedback that you could give upon. So yeah, I think you're right. I think mostly as final output will be used in production, but you have to enrich this model with your dev and test instances. Right. So that's about this ops group, DevOps group.
It's interesting how the machine learning is being used in
Yeah. I think this.
in the regular way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So
like
this is.
infrastructure side.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this is in today's the machine learning keynote that I saw. It is all completely integrating machine learning into every product. So that is the trend that I'm seeing. So far it's all reactive. Now it can be proactive. So that is a trend which I'm seeing now. So yeah, but only thing is they're so quick. Uh, I mean, one thing in AWS or even in Azure also that the innovation is happening so fast that yeah, I think if with just your certification, if you see the next year, you see another 60 products coming into their portfolio, right? Like I should be keep on learning it. So it is a never-ending game. Yeah. So yeah, that's true. So the second one is first time ever Mac OS is now coming as one of the virtual machines. So you can use Mac as so far we can use Windows and Linux as your operating systems for virtual machines. Now we can first time ever Mac OS is coming as a virtual machine. So now Apple realized the power of cloud and first time they have a tie-up with AWS where they're releasing, I mean, as part of your EC2 instances, EC2 is equivalent to Azure virtual machines in the Azure side. So as part of this, you can select Mac as your operating system. So you get a virtual machine spinned off with Mac as your operating system. And I think to start with this restrict, I mean, I think this they just started just a launch, but in this it is all Mac Mini is what is integrated. So it is not Mac as a huge portfolio of various operating system versions. But yeah, so I think to start simple, I think they started with Mac Mini. So as part of this Mac Mini instances, you can go to EC2 and you can use an on-demand workload. You can create a Mac OS workload in AWS. So with the advantage the Apple developers will get now is that they really don't need to buy a, a Mac desktop or a mini laptop, so macOS laptops. So they can directly now go to cloud and spin off an instance, and so that they can yeah, app developers can start creating apps on, and they can test those for various Mac products like iPhone, iPad, Mac, Apple Watch, Apple TV, Safari. So yeah, and all those things you can get access to within seconds. Right? So that
So do
is
you have to pay for licensing for this?
just like AWS, just like Windows or Linux, right? So it's the same concept where you will you will be charged the licensing also probably it is included in the pricing. So you need to specifically pay for pricing specifically, but so the pricing is included in the cost of pay as you go
In
model.
the cloud cost
Cloud
itself,
cost
right? The
itself.
usual cost.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
like Windows or Linux, you're not paying for spinning a Windows 2012 or 2019. You're not paying anything for it. So I mean that the pricing is included in the cloud cost itself. The same way.
See, it's going to reduce their MacBook sale though. I don't know. Let's see that.
Yeah, I think they probably it is they realized that cloud is faster for them. So I mean, just to reach wider audience, of course, yeah, there'll be dip in their hardware, the Mac hardware because now it is all in cloud, so anyone can spin off. So the hardware side of they make money most on the hardware because the iPhone or the Mac. Desktop, you're paying for the hardware now, but probably that part will shrink for Apple because of this cloud. But the other advantage that they get is that the many wider audience can now use Mac products. So the reach
Yeah.
of the product will be higher, but that might shrink their hardware revenue.
Yeah. It's a good gamble. Let's see.
Yeah. Right. So yeah. So just like yeah. So now basically customers can also consolidate the development of cross-platform Apple, Windows, and Android onto AWS. So I mean that is always there. Windows and Android were already there, but Apple is a new entry in this space now. So and this is so far Apple based products, right? On there is not much lead on AWS, but now this time definitely, yeah, this will give a momentum for more reach of Mac people coming to cloud because that is a area where people that have the Mac or Apple developers they will not they couldn't come to cloud just because the OS is not available, but now that audience can come to cloud now. So
I was
probably
hoping Apple will have their own mini cloud for that, but they tie with Amazon. That's a smart move. Yeah.
yeah, but I think probably as Raj was telling in the last session, right? It's probably the amount of infrastructure that they need to set up. So that is a duplication with already three cloud providers already in this space.
Yeah. Right.
So
No, the thing is, the reason is they were more proprietary, right? So now it's kind of opening up. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I mean, apart from this Mac OS, right? So the good thing is they on the hardware side, sorry, the network storage, those things they remain AWS specific. So that is the keyword. So which means they did a lot of integration of AWS to Apple. So because these guys they work together for sure. Because
Yeah.
with it's not just OS, right? So it OS if you need a virtual machine from a lessons learned, so it is not just hardware. You need a storage, you need a compute, you need a networking. So those things are all nothing changed just for Mac. So they all AWS specific storage, AWS specific VPCs for networking, AWS block storage EBS, and so same AMIs for the machine learning, machine images of OS, so that remains same. So everything, the other side of it, everything remained AWS specific. So that is that shows that these guys work together to get this launched. So
So usually the Mac is, if you think it's more or less a Linux version of it, right? Once they took the base Linux and they modified, I think, right?
Yeah, the kernel
No,
is
Mac.
yeah, probably
Mac
yeah,
is System 5, right? Like, so that is Unix actually, right? Not
yeah,
Linux.
Oh, Unix.
Unix.
Okay.
Mm.
So yeah, so probably that added advantage for them because they already have that
Oh,
experience. So they try to retain. They could retain the AWS infrastructure for other components. So yeah, which is good actually because just being Apple being more proprietary, but they now exposed it for AWS. Looks like yeah. Right. Yeah, at this point, this can be procured. I mean, the places where you can spin up this EC2 Mac instances are restricted, but I think they will expand. But I think it is it's available for in US East, these regions, North Virginia, Ohio, and in US West, Oregon, and in Europe, very specific places, not a wider places, but yeah, important places. One in each continent, more or less, or two in US, but in other continents is just one. So yeah, but more yeah, and the other regions are coming soon. So right. So yeah, so this one is what I was. Yeah, I already launched a portal for this, the developer page. So if you look at this is what is yeah, what are we had gone through? It is pay as you go pricing model, and also you get the scale, dynamic scalability and capacity that you need for Mac. Um, and the choices as I said, they launched Mac Mini computers. But they're yet to launch the Mac only. I mean, its mini version is what is launched. So which means you can this Mac Mini will have features of iCore i7 processors and you have a choice of selecting the Mac OS version Mojave and Catalina. So these are the two latest operating systems, 10.14 and 10.15. So these are the two operating systems to start with. As I said, like it is latest -2, right? So that is what is supported right now, but probably they will add more. So the big announcement is like that everyone is waiting for this 11 version, which is Big Sur, so which is coming soon. That also will be available in AWS. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
is
So
so
it is,
sorry.
I think, right? So I thought like when they said Amazon is creating a Mac cloud actually, right? Of with EC2 of Mac 2, they would use general hardware like whatever they're using for Linux or Windows, right? But it seems like they have to use Apple's hardware to kind of create that.
Yeah, I think that
So
that
it
will
is
slowly change for sure. I mean, yeah,
no,
yeah,
I mean Apple is ahead of the game, right? So sooner or later, right, like their processor means their OS won't work on other processors. Like they are kind of slowly moving towards the custom processor.
mm,
So I think so that way they will keep that
the voice is breaking. I'm not sure it's just for me.
yeah, but they call it as EC2 instance only. EC2 Mac instance. Just they put only a Mac inside. That's it.
That's yeah, that's correct. So
But one more interesting thing is for Windows, we have RDP connection, right? So once you connect to RDP, you get your feel of Windows. Similarly, what do they have for this? They should have something similar, right? They cannot do Telnet or SSH because those. This is Mac is more of a Windows experience.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
true. I think I need to explore that. Not sure how. Probably you should spin off a Mac instance and see how this works.
Yeah,
Good to see
yeah,
that.
yeah. Still, I was thinking how protocols usually it's all proprietary. Now they have to open up things, right? So
Mm.
that's where it's going to be on their own or something. We have to see.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and yeah, this is actually, this is a new information to me that AWS Nitro System. I heard this many times, but Nitro is a feature where it is a specific AWS. I mean, they claim that this is the game changer for AWS, where they could innovate so fast just because they could separate the hardware hypervisor of the virtualization layer, and so that they could, and this could separate hardware virtualization. So that includes the storage, and also the compute. So they get the benefit of uh, of all the other parts remain the same. So every time they release a new product, so they can, because of they having a Nitro integration, so they could uh, try and test this various instances of different sizes, and see how they behave, and then they're quickly launching their products so fast compared to other cloud vendors. So that is something a new information to me. So this is what it basically. So the summary is that that if you launch any product, so there'll be three pillars like the storage, compute, networking. So, and in addition to that, hardware, right? So, so when they take out all these three components, and they could control them with a chip, um, or take these components uh, into the hardware chip. Uh, so now they can bring more variations in this, like in terms of adding more storage or adding more CPU. So they could play and they could release products faster. So it is. I need to learn more about it, but I think it is. This is what is their hidden tool, which helps them to release products so fast to the market. So there is a special note about Nitro in this, which I will plan to go through today. So yeah, this maybe I will go through this and give more about it. But what I understand is this is probably one of the important item where the hardware and other parts there they could change so easily just because of this chipset based integration, where they could separate hardware, compute, CPU, networking with just like knobs, right? So you can change this, change that, and see how the system behaves. So that way they could quickly test and release things quickly to the market. Yeah, so that is something. The point is that that Nitro chip based integration is now introduced even for Mac. So now in future they could release more variations to it, very quickly compared to any other cloud vendor. So yeah, that is something very interesting. Actually. So I probably can read about it here. So it is Nitro System is a rich collection of building blocks that offloads many of the traditional software-defined functions to dedicated hardware and software to deliver high performance, high availability, and high security. So these are some things they could easily tune just by changing few knobs on the Nitro chip. They could quickly test how a variation of compute or variation of CPU, variation of storage, how they behaves. They can easily test it, and they could also deliver the product faster by analyzing the metrics of performance, availability, and security. So yeah, so it is. I could rate this something like your. I mean, any product that they launch, if you look at the common issues or these along with the variations of storage, compute, networking. So these are all cross-cutting concerns. So what I understood is this cross-cutting concerns they took out and they put it in Nitro. So that way they could release the product faster because the cross-cutting concerns are addressed in this Nitro. So you can focus on the new feature that you're bringing. So that's what I understood at a high level, what is Nitro. But I think you need to probably have a deep dive into this to
So
understand this better.
Yeah, this is kind of little bit on the knowledge domain, firmware, those kind of things.
Yeah.
This is really a outstanding thing, right? It was not possible.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, so there is no experience that I've seen, but yeah, Nitro System is a rich collection of building blocks that supports traditional Nitro. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Network bandwidth and other things, right? Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah, that's true. I think probably I will go through that more in detail, and
Mhm.
probably will come with. I think there's a dedicated session on this Nitro. I think it's completely. I'd gone through that first 10 minutes. I couldn't understand that because it is completely hardware based. They're talking about. So probably some. I need some. Some more. Yeah, I had to revisit that video once again to understand that. But I got a high level. This is what they're doing it. But yeah, this is something they didn't talk much about in the past. I think their core is this on which they're playing. So that's what I understood. So
Mm.
yeah. Anyway, so let's go through that. Probably in the next session, I'll try to cover more about this Nitro. Yeah, and yeah,
That
this
should be
is
something on the Azure also similarly, right? Since we have some inside information on the hardware side, we can even compare. Yes.
yeah. So I think the every they have some core concepts, right? So they would have built so because they are releasing so many products with variations of CPU. Earlier, I mean, now the compute is gone from very basic to now advanced, right? Even to the machine learning level of huge petabytes of data. So we're talking about very high computes now. So and every year they're releasing new model with the enhanced version of capacity. So yeah, I think and we are seeing that trend. Uh, Earlier, it is this new versions of compute. They will come or once or twice in a year, right? I mean, primarily I'm seeing Intel. I mean, I'm talking before cloud era. 10 years back, if you see, we get once in a year new model of compute either from IBM or from HP or uh, or uh, probably with Intel being the core. So now, if you see this invention that is happening on the compute is so fast that we are talking about spinning off instances at a very high compute in just a click of a button, and also the capacity is growing high.
But who is doing that innovation? Doing right? Who is doing more of this now?
Yeah, I mean this is something. This is also I heard in this session today. Now AWS they already realized that always there is a limit that they could go beyond because they are now relying heavily on Intel or IBM or Dell to provide the hardware, right? So first time they are now AWS is acquiring few companies who are into hardware, and they are planning to put that innovation rather than depending on this other vendors. So probably they're already telling that NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, Dell. So these four guys are their partners in providing the hardwares. Uh, but at the same time, uh, to to some extent, they also AWS want to now invest into producing their own hardware because they already know from this Alexa experience what it takes to manufacture things, and also now in mass they are releasing Alexa products, and also they are now in this IoT side of it and industrial IoT side of it. They already launched a lot of hardware. So now they're slowly entering into the hardware side of it also. So and in the compute side, they are now planning to have a tie-up with other. They told that they acquired few companies on which they want to um, spend more on hardware side in modernization, and the hardware side they want to spend because at software at some point you can't do beyond. so at some level, right? We are talking about infrastructure now. So they need to invest on infrastructure and future infrastructure data center handling. So they have to think differently now. So I think they are now entering into the hardware space, taking that control rather than they are relying on inventions from other companies. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so that's on, yeah, this one, if you go further, I think this is this is what the industrial vertical that I was talking about. This is completely into industrial IoT and machine learning services. So they launched 5 products in this space. So these are all sensors actually. If you see this diagram, so these are all sensors. Like it is looking big here in this photo, but actually the bigger one itself, you see, it is just like a cake, a small cake. I mean the small piece of cake, right? I mean if you cut, so that is the size. So it is very can hold it in a hand with 2 fingers. That is the size. So yeah, so that is, and this one is even smaller, right? So yeah, but what you can do with this is that this one, all this industrial machine, this is all primarily meant for industrial machine and industrial automation places where they want to fix the sensors. These are all vibration sensors basically. So primary vibration sensor, but it has other sensors also embed in this, like temperature sensor, pressure sensor, and other things. So it's a what you can say, it's a collection of sensors, but primarily monitors the vibration of your industrial equipment. So with that it can and also it has machine learning, small compute embed in this. So and also it can produce data, and it is exposed on Wi-Fi. So it can send data to cloud or to the gateway nearby. So gateway is another router like a device. So which has bigger compute than what is this sensor is having it. So either through gateway or on its own, it can send data to cloud. Uh, but at the same time, it can also emit the changes in the vibration, and accordingly, it will give suggestions to the floor owner. So that is what is this product at a high level. But yeah, this is um, yeah, something called, these product names are called Amazon Monitron. Monitron is like for the monitoring, so you can monitor things. So and this other product is like Lookout for equipment. So this Lookout Monitron is primarily which will help you to like it has a machine learning monitoring solution embedded in this. It is composed of various sensors and gateways, and also it can detect this. Primarily, the use case is it can detect the abnormal equipment conditions that may require maintenance. So this is the keyword, right? So it can from the data it has from the past, and from the vibration data that is received through various sensors, it can detect the abnormality of the equipment, either in terms of sound or in terms of temperature or in terms of the pressure, or the wear and tear. So it can identify the abnormalities on the equipment, and it might suggest what kind of maintenance is required, or also it will suggest you to replace if it can predict that it's a time for replacement. So so this is suitable for a mass production. The keynote, the second keynote that I saw today, the machine learning keynote, they were talking more about this product where there's a mass production line that will be there. For example, they took the pencil generation, the pencil equipment, the pencil manufacturing industry. So where there's a trail of lot of pencils that are being put on the thread, and this monitron is fixed on that trailer, where it can monitor every image of the pencil, and if there are any abnormalities, it will identify the abnormalities and tell you. Um, and this monitron will be set at various points where there is a lot of pressure that will be applied on the equipment. So for example, let's say at one point in the diagram they showed it is punching the extra outside and inside of the pencil, and it is applying pressure there. So and they attached this sensor on that industrial equipment, and it continuously generates the data through Wi-Fi, and then it can predict the wear and tear of that pressure putting instrument on the pencil. So yeah, so that is a very interesting use case. So now basically it is replacing a human there. So it is replacing a human and can give more realistic data here. Um, and also this one, look out for equipment. This instrument is basically, it gives it will primarily detect the abnormal equipment behavior. So if the equipment, I mean, the very common problem that in industrial use cases are this equipments when they're generating the product in mass. So it's difficult to detect an abnormal product when they're going in a fast lane, right? So it is difficult to detect which is abnormal. So, for example, in the use case, they're talking about a pencil where there is a wear and tear happened on the pencil. There is a small breakage in the pencil, because of which it looked different compared to other pencils. So it will continuously monitor every pencil that is coming from that fast lane, and within seconds it can detect, not seconds, milliseconds, it can detect the variation of the product compared to others, and it can tell you that this product is having a fault, or it is bit abnormal, and it will give the details to the floor person who is in charge, so that they can take actions on it quickly. So that is very interesting. So that's about lookout lookout for equipment. So, and then this one is Panorama Appliance. So this one is primarily for cameras. So generally in industry there are a lot of cameras fixed in the industries. So they generally give a safety of the workplace. So now they're applying a computer vision model onto that. And one common problem is that all these industries are already having some existing cameras which are low end, but at the same time they don't want to replace it because it comes with a cost. So how to make use of the existing old cameras itself, um, but get the computer vision model applied on that to make good decisions. So that is what is Panorama Appliances. So Panorama Appliance is nothing but there will be separate router kind of a device. So that all the cameras in the industry in industrial facilities, so they will take the pictures and send it to this Panorama Appliance. So it is like edge device, okay, sitting in the floor, and this Panorama Appliance will have the computer machine learning a model that will be installed on this appliance, this router kind of a device. It can monitor the images that they're getting from all these various cameras, and it can take some actions and give the details to the floor person. So primarily it looks at quality control and workplace safety. These are the two areas where this product is focusing on, right? And the beauty is that it has there is SDK also for it, Panorama SDK. So using this, you can write your own logic if you are not happy with the default logic that AWS provides. You can write your own custom embedded computer vision model using all the popular programming languages. And you can write because of the SDKs, you can extend it and put your logic into this Panorama appliance. So basically it can be customized. That is summary. So it's meant purely for camera and computer vision based equipments. And this one is lookout for vision. So this one is this it is primarily an AWS trained computer vision model, which can basically stream all the images and video stream and find anomalies in the flaws in the products and process. So this is the fast stream of the product line that is coming out of the, for example, continuous the trolley of will be there, and the trolley will be having a lot of pencils, so that is coming from the final output. So it can see that it is just like a camera sitting and watching every product every pencil that is coming out of the line, and it can check if there is any flaws, and it can suggest what are the anomalies in the product. So it is more like you are trained the model of various images of pencil, for example, and so that you can make a better decision of the anomalies. Yeah. So that's about this product. This set is all for industrial machine learning services. Monitor and lookout for equipment, Panorama Appliance, Panorama SDK, and lookout for vision. Right. So, any thoughts here?
So the computer vision model algorithm has been taken into the industrial use case now, right?
Yeah, exactly. So far, it's all not industry specific. Now it is industry specific. So, so basically now all the learnings that they had in house, now it is now exposed as a product and launched for outside people, outside customers.
So for which industry is this one catering?
I mean, any industry which is generating, there is a pipeline, right? I mean, I told as a pencil industry, but it can be anything in a mass production, any mass production line. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
even our vaccine.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So this is exactly the the use case in that. I think I told you right at the end of every product launch, there'll be two customers who will be talking about how they use this product as a beta version. In that, one of the customer Carrier, I don't know whether you heard of it. Carrier is primarily into AC air conditioning business. So air conditioned business. So they are this company Carrier is all a 100-year-old company. It's not it's a very old company. So they spoke about how they used these products. Their common problem statement that they told is that I mean the two use cases they told. One is this vaccine generation in mass production. So they are I mean they're not generating vaccine, but transporting of the vaccine. So their use case is transport of vaccine in cold conditions. So they have to. I mean, all these vaccines should maintain a temperature, right? And these vaccines are traveling across continents. So right from manufacturing center, so to before they go to ship, so there will be local trucks that will be used to transport it to ships from manufacturing center. So local trucks to ships and from ships again to local trucks to again the final center, the destination center. So in this process, they could maintain temperature here because it's completely in their control, manufacturing center. They could. This is a long journey, so here also they could maintain. But the problem statement is in these places where they're where they're taking the medicine from manufacturing center to trucks. So in this, all these arrow marks, right? So in these areas, so the temperature is, they're exposed on outside world, so the maintaining the temperature is a bit risky, because a person who is taking that box and loading into a truck, right? So at that point, you are exposed to an outside world. Not you don't have any control on the room temperature. So that the outside temperature could be it could be varying based on when or which region or which location they are in. So their problem statement is how to reduce or control the temperature at this point. So that is for vaccine, and so for that they used all this monitor on or lookout for equipment use case they are talking about. So where they applied this product, and it is giving a lot of information in terms of what is the temperature or how the product is available in this, and also another use case that they talked about is banana transportation. so so this is also a very interesting use case. It's very simple but very interesting use case. So this banana can it takes at least 3 weeks to reach from for example in Mexico to a common shop in US. So at least it takes 2 to 3 weeks. So 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 for that. Like how of course it travels in all these various combinations. Uh, so yeah, in this process, the temperature makes an important aspect for banana, because if the temperature is a bit higher, it can change, it can decay, right? So so they have used this lookout for equipment, and can monitor.
Yeah, see all this technology applied to your banana use case because your technology is cheaper now. That
Yeah,
they made it so commoditized.
exactly. So that is
Yeah.
so now the thing is this before machine learning, right? I mean, now all these machine learnings are exposed outside as a common use cases now. So you should have a basic compute where it can run that run and apply on the real data. So that is the bare minimum that is required. And now cloud vendors are identified that, and they're releasing a lot of edge devices which can give you that feature. And their main source is cloud, where the data is all there in cold storage, and they're applying the machine learning model there and applying it onto the edge device on the field, so they can take better decisions. That is a common concept, but overall, but the use case are a bit different based on it is camera or it is a pressure or temperature industrial equipment, or it is something else. So the use case will vary, but based on the use case, they're launching a appropriate edge device. So, uh, but the concept is same.
So yeah, since you keep talking a lot, right? So I'll just chip in for here. So in PG&E, currently we are using machine learning model for watching the power lines, right? Of the not when we say power line, it is not a simple thing. They have lots of variations to it. So the way they do it is they have a set of images captured. First, the drones will go and take the pictures, and that pictures will be sent to the model, and the model will evaluate. Since the model is already trained, if you train the model, you could say given a new picture, it will say it is in the bad side or good side, how much percentage good, how much percentage bad. And that is really helping them because the wildfire, the nature is also really demanding nowadays. In California, every year that is, they don't have too much control over it. It is increasing rather than decreasing, and they don't have an option how to control the nature. But what they want to be more control, they have control more on how to see whether some erosion going to happen, what is going to happen because of the nature, right? So the more the nature thing, how can you be more proactive so that you can make the uh, if one power line falls down, that can trigger many more fires. First of all, fire is happening due to nature, but that will trigger the power line. Power line will also trigger a lot more, and there are a lot more variations to it. And this monitron could help them, because right now they don't have. They have, but the monitoring is happening by uh, by having a helicopter, and the drones are sitting in the helicopter. They send the drone from the helicopter, actually, because that's such an elevation thing. It goes and captures the things, image as well as videos. Then it has to be fed into the system, into the AWS. Then AWS is giving back. So there is a delay between the monitoring side of it. I think this, if this equipment is really good enough, it can withstand some of those wildfire kind of a temperature. There are many aspects to it, right? But if it can get to that level, it's going to really helpful for the utilities companies.
Yeah,
Yeah, like a banana is a simple use case, but that could stretch to a life-saving use case also.
yeah.
But with the same money, that's the power of the cloud.
And this
So
gateway is something is adding to this, where this gateway is helping them to give uh, the internet for the sensor. So yeah, so the gateway is just like another router size box, which will be sitting along with the same floor where the sensors are, or if in your use case, probably it is on power helicopter where it can yeah, it can give that internet to that sensor. It will have a range, but beyond that range, if you go, it may not give. But just like your home Wi-Fi router, so it can stretch to a limit. So so yeah, so for such kind of use cases, this gateway in combination sensors will help you. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, so this yeah means this thing about like collecting data and means analyzing it just to kind of find out failures, like the one is the aircraft engines, right? Like some of them, and then what I heard is GE is also doing it on that CAT scan machines. Actually, like they are sensitive to, like, if before they go bad, actually they kind of do all this and they do machine learning on what can go bad, actually, right? Like they keep looking at those things. So similarly, I think they've extended to almost all the machines here, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
any. Mhm.
They could target a production line, so they could use that use case to wider group of yeah, manufacturing.
So this is hardware is also you have to buy from Amazon.
Yes, yes. I mean this. Uh, for example, the variant is only for this Panorama, where you need to buy. You can reuse your existing cameras. Existing cameras can be used, but it has to be integrated with the suppliers. Um, but others are all you need to buy the sensors. Uh,
Yeah. So nowadays, if you see Amazon, it's not software anymore on the cloud.
yeah, it is now.
You start.
They're into every business now. Right? I mean, the satellite launch, also the rocket launch, also they're into that space. So they introduced in the last sessions of they introduced the satellite launching center. What is it called? I forgot that name. The satellite. So they're into that space. I was just stunned why they're into that space. The ground station. So yeah, so they're into ground station where it control the satellites and the imagery that you get from satellite. So ground station as a service, that is what they're calling as, yeah, ground station as a service. So you want a ground station, we will set up everything for you. So so it is completely not into their core area. They're in completely different space now. Yeah, I think they have Jeff Bezos is already investing on this aeronautics and also in the space along with Elon Musk, right? So I think they had that experience now. So even Azure is also into this space now. Starting to see Azure is also the satellite business. Um, Orbital. So they just launched it very recently. The process satellite data at cloud scale. So yeah, so this. They're now all the cloud vendors are going out of their boundary. So and they're now going industry specific. So this is very industry specific satellite. We hardly get two or three customers in this space, but once you get the customer, yeah, you get a lot of money. Right, I mean, the usage will be petabytes level, right? So it will be like they get a lot of revenue from even if they get one customer in this space. Yeah, so, yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
with all the IoT devices selling along with the cloud, that's where your niche building will come. So that Elon Musk and AWS can have a tie-up, so that when they send the shuttle itself, they'll have the sensors of AWS. It
Yeah,
will communicate back to the cloud.
yeah, yeah. That's true. Yes. So this one is into analytics space. You know, all QuickSight is a BI2 for AWS. It's there from day one, right? QuickSight. So what is new in this QuickSight is now they introduced a product called Aqua. Aqua is advanced query accelerator. So this Aqua is basically again machine learning integration. So what it does is it uses natural language processing, where you can you can ask, if you see here there is a text box, right? So here you can type here what is the weekly sales in California versus whatever. So for example, here in this is a QuickSight dashboard. So this is also about the sales by state. Okay, so just a sample use case, sales by state. And here, what are the sales in California and New York? And they could see all the various locations where the sales happened. So, but this graph doesn't give you information about the for a salesperson if they want to see what is higher sales in California. That graph is not there in this. And that is the use case that they're talking about. The sales guy, he is already having an existing dashboard. The problem statement for a sales guy is if let's say he want to see a graph which is not there already built. The problem statement is he has to send an email or talk to the developer and get that data. So the developer has to build a graph or give the data to him manually. So that is a problem statement. But now a sales guy, if we can talk or type and this can understand and give you the data that he needs, then he is happy, right? So that is the use case that they worked on. So it's very interesting. So basically now the sales guy is not depend on a developer to get the data. He can just type it and this can give you can understand the natural language that is typed. And it will just like Google, it can understand what he's looking for, and he will give the data to him. So so now it is this is where a scary area where it is replacing a developer. So the machine learning is actually now replacing a developer here. Right? Yeah. So yeah, we're slowly entering into the IT space also this machine learning, but there is one use case which I see. Oh my God! So it is like wow, it is replacing a developer here more or less. Right? Yeah. So that is where this machine learning is going now. So this Amazon they call it QuickSight Q. Q is no, they removed I. I was thinking it is IQ first, but after seeing the name, it is Q. Amazon QuickSight Q is like you can type whatever you want and it can understand and give you whatever you're looking for because it's already having the data. So it can give you runtime. In runtime, using this advanced query accelerator, it can generate the graph what you're looking in a BA in a graphical format and give it to you in real time. So that is this tool. QuickSight Q is the integration of machine learning into this, but they made it fast now because of this advanced query accelerator. That is a sub product which made this BI faster now, and it also has an integration to Redshift, which is an ETL tool, and Glue, which is there. Where it can also integrate with, probably this Glue is more connecting multiple sources to get the data. So it has integration to both. So that is what this tool is. So in this analytics space, if you go a bit detail, so this Aqua is primarily an integration to Redshift with a new hardware accelerator cache. So this is what is accelerating your performance of Redshift output. Which is basically the summary is that in Redshift it is an ETL tool, so you can get better 10x better query performance than the older data warehouse solutions. So this is now still it is, if you see here, this is in general availability in Jan 2021. So it is not released officially yet, but it's coming in Jan 2021. So yeah, that is about this Aqua. Aqua is more about Redshift made 10x faster compared to the older version. So that is because of this caching concept. So then this Glue, they introduced a concept called elastic views. The problem statement here is Glue earlier was we had to do a lot of things to get the data to Glue. A lot of manual work is required in telling where the sources are and how to get the data from various sources. So now here with this new version of AWS Glue, Elastic Views is just to introduce this as one word. AWS Glue Elastic Views. This will help you to write a materialized view. I mean, in SQL, you know what is materialized view. So you can write a materialized view just like a stored block. You can write a materialized view, and it can automatically combine and replicate the data across various sources. So now you don't need to do a lot of manual work to tell where the source. You can write everything in a query or in a materialized view, and you can tell what are the sources and if you just write this view, it will do that pipeline for you, pipeline data aggregation for you. So basically, pipeline setup in form of materialized view. One and where to tell this. So yeah, that is this AWS Glue Elastic Views. And QuickSight Q. This is what I was telling about this machine learning integration. The top, for example, on top of BI. QuickSight. This is a machine learning capability that gives you it will use the natural language expressions. So to ask your business questions, so that you can search and it can receive highly accurate answers in seconds. So that is the use case that they're showing here is what is the highest sales in California. So if you just type, if you can tell that what is the weekly sales in California, for example. So it is generating one more page. It will show you another page where it will show you the graphs of what are the popular products like horizontal graph and vertical graph. So you're not doing anything there, right? You're not coding there, and it's automatically bringing that for you. That is interesting. Again, this also see machine learning integrated. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to continue, or we can continue tomorrow or next week? Because you keep talking a lot, probably.
Yeah.
Right?
We can do it next week also.
Next week, right? So anybody else wants to chip in? So I think this is a great beginning, right? So I think we have content for a long time now, because this is just touching 3 products for an hour and a half now, and we have not even gone deep dive. This is just talking the use case, functional use case, and even that itself is taking so much time. And just on the container side, what is the summary? Just tell ECS is there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. This is now they're taking it is a similar functionality of Anthos, right? Anthos on-premise. It is a replica of that.
Oh, okay.
So now we have an on-premise. That's why it's anywhere, right? So it's like you're taking you could now take ECS to on-premise.
Okay.
So that's why you can use container services on-premise, Kubernetes services on-premise, and Proton is what new service to automate the container and servers application development. So
Okay.
so this is Proton is something
Okay.
which are introduced maybe.
Yeah. So I think this is the answer for the hybrid.
Yeah, hybrid, yes.
Right? Yeah. I don't know now Google's advantage because they own the EKS, they own the Kubernetes, but since it's open source, these guys are also taking advantage of it. Yeah. Same thing with Azure also.
Yeah,
I don't know whether Azure has it yet, but it's going to come soon.
No, Azure already launched. Azure Arc is the solution for this.
Yeah, everyone seems to have that Kubernetes because that's the way everyone is proceeding, right? Like so.
Yeah, Kubernetes is already there. Now they're bringing it to on-premise. That is the next variation to this. So
This is the hybrid side.
yeah,
You can have your data center also the workload, also leverage the cloud for extra delta.
so it is this is a keyword, right? So ECS, the container bringing the cloud container bringing to data center. So you can bring
This is Kubernetes building.
it is Kubernetes, Amazon Kubernetes bringing to your data center. So that is a variation here. Yeah. Okay,
But
that's good.
ideally speaking, the hybrid you could do across all the three cloud with on-premise. I think, these guys, I don't know. Right now, they say EKS with on-premise. That means they are stretching only to the AWS cloud. But GKE, I think the Anthos was more like you could go across all the three cloud along with on-premise. I think, if I'm correct or wrong. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, that is correct. You're right. So Anthos is you could move to any Kubernetes.
Correct. Yeah. The power is they know the underlying thing, right? So they play on that layer. That's why.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this could be a next week deep dive. Little bit we'll discuss around. This is future actually, and we can even talk about what is the corresponding answer from the Azure side, as well as also on the GK side, because if you think about cloud, now cloud is legacy. People are saying cloud is legacy, compute, network, storage. Yeah, everybody has it. What the big thing, right? So now the next thing is how to leverage your compute across, not just on-premise, because nobody wants to come to cloud only anymore. They also wants to make use of their existing data center. That cannot be go waste. So that is where this solution is there. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting space to discuss deep dive.
Yeah.
Okay. So anybody else anything to discuss?
No.
Okay. Otherwise, yeah, we can connect next week then, right, Shyam?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. Yeah.